Chapter 24. Eulogy.
The name of Abraham Lincoln was near and dear to our hearts in the darkest and most perilous hours of the Republic. Despite the mist and haze that surrounded him, despite the tumult, the hurry, and confusion of the hour, we came to the conclusion that the hour and the man of our redemption had somehow met in the person of Abraham Lincoln. Few great public men have ever been the victims of fiercer denunciation than Abraham Lincoln was during his administration. He was often wounded in the house of his friends. Reproaches came thick and fast upon him from within and from without, and from opposite quarters. He was assailed by abolitionists. He was assailed by slaveholders. He was assailed by the men who were for peace at any price. He was assailed by those who were for a more vigorous prosecution of the war. He was assailed for not making the war an abolition war, and he was bitterly assailed for making the war an abolition war. The judgment of the present hour is that, measuring the tremendous magnitude of the work before him, infinite wisdom has seldom sent any man into the world better fitted for his mission than Abraham Lincoln. The tremendous question for him to decide was whether his country should survive the crisis and flourish, or be dismembered and perish. He brought his strong common sense, sharpened in the school of adversity, to bear upon the question. He did not hesitate. He did not doubt. He did not falter, but at once resolved that at whatever peril, at whatever cost, the union of the states should be preserved. He calmly and bravely heard the voice of doubt and fear all around him. But he had an oath in heaven, and there was not power on earth to make this honest boatman, backwoodsman, and broad-handed splitter of rails evade or violate that sacred oath. Fellow citizens, the 14th day of April, 1865, is now and will ever remain a memorable day in the annals of this republic. It was on the evening of this day, while a fierce and sanguinary rebellion was in the last stages of its desolating power, while its armies were broken and scattered before the invincible armies of Grant and Sherman, while a great nation, torn and rent by war, was already beginning to raise to the skies loud anthems of joy at the dawn of peace. It was startled, amazed, and overwhelmed by the crowning crime of slavery, the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. It was a new crime, a pure act of malice. No purpose of the rebellion was to be served by it. It was the simple gratification of a hell-black spirit of revenge. But it has done good after all. It has filled the country with a deep abhorrence of slavery and a deeper love for the great liberator. Had Abraham Lincoln died from any of the numerous ills to which flesh is heir, had he reached that good old age of which his vigorous constitution and his temperate habits gave promise, had he been permitted to see the end of his great work, had the solemn curtain of death come down but gradually, we should still have been smitten with a heavy grief, and treasured his name lovingly. But dying as he did die, by the red hand of violence, killed, assassinated, taken off without warning, not because of personal hate, for no man who knew Abraham Lincoln could hate him, but because of his fidelity to union and liberty, he is doubly dear to us, and his memory will be precious forever.